Hi guys, I think I'm live. It says I am, but I had a few technical difficulties the last time I did a live chat, so we'll see if I'm actually live or not. This is another impromptu one. I just kind of felt like venting a little bit. I had a tough day. I was in so much pain last night that I was crying myself to sleep basically because my hands and fingers hurt so badly. And then this morning I had to back out of a meeting that I was looking forward to attending because I woke up in so much pain. And I had been planning on attending going to my alma mater, the University of Pittsburgh, to see the First Lady today, Michelle Obama. And I was, looking forward to it, so I did kind of force myself to go. But I kind of paid the price for it. These rally-style events, there's not a ton of accommodations or seating. And that's just the nature of the beast. I'm not blaming anyone in particular. But it was very challenging to stand for so long, and I was in a ton of pain and faced with the decision to whether or not to go in the ADA line, the Americans with Disabilities Act accommodating line. And that was because I knew that I don't look sick, I don't look disabled or handicapped, and I don't look like anything is wrong with me. And I didn't want fellow people in attendance or people working there to think anything bad about me or think that I was milking it or trying to abuse the system and trying to get, a seat up close or whatever. That certainly wasn't the case. And I have I have faced this before with concerts and things. I love going to concerts, but the standing and walking for such a long period of time is sometimes very difficult. And I really hesitate to ask for special seating or ask for accessible seating or special ADA accommodations. And I would never do that unless it was, something where I absolutely needed to. But today I probably needed to. And I don't know if it was pride or stubbornness. I think it was just intimidation. I was worried about what other people would think. Just worried about the criticism or skepticism or judgment or stigma or people not believing. And I try not to care what people think, but I did care. So I forced myself to not go in the ADA line and to stand with the masses. And by the time she came on to speak, I literally was fighting back tears the whole time. And I'm not exaggerating. I barely could walk to my car. And I had to take my shoes off to even drive home. And I'll show you. I'm still in my car. I didn't go inside yet. My shoes are flats. They're just, they're supposed to be comfortable and, they're flats. They're nothing crazy. And yet, I had to take them off the second I got in my car because my feet were so swollen and in so much pain. My lower back is in excruciating pain, and my fingers are still flaring really badly, and my wrists, my hands, my neck. So, it's just frustrating whenever I have a memorable event or occasion to have it be tarnished because of pain. This has happened before. The Taylor Swift concert is another example. Wonderful concert, had so much fun. But I remember basically crying on the way back to the car, limping and crying because of pain. And also when my husband and I went to Disney, I had a similar experience that I actually wrote a blog post about. So, it's just hard to have to worry about that being pain or sickness, tarnishing memories or taking the fun or the novelty or the excitement out of events that should be fun for you, or at least memorable. So I'm kind of just venting. I'm always positive and strong and happy and optimistic, and I still am those things, but I'm also a human and a realistic person, and today was just a hard day. And I don't blame the University of Pittsburgh. I don't blame First Lady Michelle Obama. I don't blame the Hillary Clinton campaign or the city of Pittsburgh or anyone. I don't blame anybody. I blame myself for not asking for the help and the accommodations that I needed. I do have a certain level of maybe pride or vanity when it comes to those things. Not so much vanity, but just a little bit of pride. I think I'm maybe stronger than I am. So I think I can power through and, deal with it. And it's not always smart to just deal with it when it comes to pain. So I don't necessarily care about how I look to other people, but I just do have this sense of pride, for lack of a better term, that I'm strong and I can get through this and I don't need the help. I don't need the special accommodations. And I know that's what they're there for. But it just sucks because I'm this advocate for patients and I advocate for people with invisible illness, and I tell you all to be a steward of your health and be your own best advocate. And yet today I couldn't even speak up for myself because I thought they're going to look at me with my gold jewelry and my Michael Kors shoes and my nice little blouse from the Limited and my Ivanka Trump, dress pants and makeup and my Michael Kors handbag and whatever. And they're not going to see a cane. They're not going to see crutches. They're not going to see a wheelchair or a scooter or another kind of assistive device. And because of that, I felt I wasn't going to be taken seriously. I was going to be seen as maybe some spoiled girl who just didn't feel like waiting or just didn't feel like standing, who was trying to cheat the system and get a better spot up front. And it's sad that I have to think that way, but I truly feel that that is how I would have been judged and labeled and stigmatized had I gone in that ADA line. And it wasn't a situation where I could argue with anybody. The Secret Service was literally checking us in. I got frisked by members of the Secret Service. Everybody did. They patted you down. The TSA was there going through your bags. I know the guys were Secret Service because they were wearing bulletproof vests that said Secret Service, and the TSA was wearing their uniforms. And I wasn't about to hold up the line to try to explain why I needed to be in the ADA line. It sucks that I have to feel that way, but I didn't want to be an inconvenience to everybody else, and I didn't want to invite any kind of ill feelings towards me or mistrust. And so I decided to just deal with it, and I did, and it was a lovely event, and she's a lovely speaker. I like what she, what her little platform is regarding let's get moving, let's move together. It's very similar to the Arthritis Foundation's Let's Move Together initiative. So I do appreciate all of that and her encouragement of healthy eating and getting kids active and healthy. I love that. So I love what she stands for as far as getting people healthier and fit. I love that she's all about girl power. I think she's funny. I enjoyed listening to her. But it was actually really hard to focus on what she was saying because I was in so much pain. So I don't know how we do better. There's no one to blame in this situation. It is what it is. All we can do is try to educate people that there are some illnesses and disabilities that are invisible, and not everybody who needs to use a handicap parking pass or needs special seating at a concert or a rally or a lecture looks like they need special seating. Disabilities and illnesses come in all shapes and sizes. Sometimes they involve assistive devices or walkers or wheelchairs. A lot of times they don't. And so I guess I'm just asking the public to understand that and kind of telling myself and the rest of you, let's not be afraid to speak up for ourselves, because I could have saved myself a lot of frustration today and discomfort had I just told somebody that I did need special accommodations. And listen, the venue where they had it, I don't even know if I would have been able to get special accommodations. It was one of those situations, and, no one's fault. Maybe the organizers could have got a more inclusive type venue. But there was some seating, and I felt that the seating was more for VIPs or people that, I don't know, maybe worked to help put the event together. I'm not sure who they were, but most of them appeared to be students, and that's fine. But it was a little frustrating then when I saw people who did have crutches or wheelchairs, pushed to the back, or having to lean up against the gated, fenced off area where all the media was. We had local and national media there. To see older people having to stand, and some of those older people were probably in less pain than me. But, I don't know how we get better with this. It's just a problem in our culture that illness or sickness or disability or any kind of lack of physical stamina or physical ability is seen as a weakness and seen as a flaw. It's not something people want to talk about. It's seen as something shameful. And that sucks, because it's nothing to be embarrassed about. So we all just got to do our part to spread awareness, I think, and to also ask for help when we need it. And I'm going to try to get better at that myself. What I will never do is take advantage of my health issues and play the sick card. So you'll never see me using my handicap parking pass if I don't absolutely need it. And I would be really hesitant to buy the handicap accessible ADA tickets to a concert, because I feel that there are probably people who need them more than me. But that said, at an event like today, or, any kind of situation like that, I, myself, and others should not feel embarrassed to ask for help or special accommodations, whether that's traveling, you need extra time getting on and off the airplane, or you need certain seating on the airplane, or, you just need to have the option to lean up against something or sit down when needed. Those things are important. And I think that we need to find the balance between speaking up when we need to, but also not abusing it. I think when people do abuse their handicap status, or whatever you want to call it, I think that can sometimes further perpetuate a negative stigma and negative connotations and an air of skepticism and cynicism. So, we can't abuse it or take advantage of it or milk it. But at the same time, we have to be able and willing to speak out if we do need help, and speak up for those who do need assistance and accommodations and aren't getting it. I would like to see more seating options at events like this and other ones in the future. And I would like to make it maybe a little easier for people to know, how do I go about getting the ADA seating? Because for me, I asked the event organizers on Facebook if there was seating. They never responded to me. I saw where they told somebody else there's limited seating, it's a rally style, so plan on standing. So I kind of knew going into it that was the situation, but they didn't reply to me, and I was familiar with the venue, so I knew there'd be very little seating available. But that said, when I got there, I did see there was an ADA line, and there was no warning ahead of time, how do you, qualify to get in the ADA line? What do you have to do? What do you have to show? What do you have to produce? What do you have to do to prove that you should be in that line? And there was just nothing. I had no context for what that sign meant. I didn't even know if I would be able to just hop in that line. So, I think it needs to be better communicated. If there are accommodations at different places and different events, maybe let attendees know that ahead of time, so that they're not scrambling last minute figuring out what to do. And I don't know what the answer is. I've read where some other countries are offering stickers or badges or necklaces. I I don't remember the full story, to people who have an invisible illness, to kind of show like, hey, I might not look sick, but I do have this illness or this disability. I see pros and cons to that. I think it could be useful, but I also think it could be a little, I don't know the word, not dangerous, but it might make you feel very much like you're being singled out. So I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. So I think I disconnected. I don't know what happened. I might be back. I don't know. I kind of just wanted to vent about that. It was a rough day for me physically, but then that led to kind of it being a rough day emotionally too. But I had a great time. I enjoyed it. I'm just mad at myself for not grabbing a seat. And there really weren't that many seats available, but so, I mean, maybe I wouldn't have even been able to get one, but I didn't even try. I just accepted, like, oh, people are going to think I'm faking, so I'm just going to stand in the regular line and suffer. That's stupid. That's stupid. I'm a smart person. I mean, I'm not bragging, but I'm an intelligent individual, and that was a stupid thing to do. We should never choose suffering if we have an alternate option. So, trying to be gentle with myself in learning these things and treading that line between asking for help or resting when I need to without milking it or taking advantage of the situation or exploiting the situation. So again, like I always talk about, it's all about balance, and I'm learning, even though I've had this issue for so long and I've had health problems for like 22, 23 years now. I'm still learning every day, just like you guys are. And I am not perfect, and I've never claimed to be. Something I talk a lot about in my Sick Idiot book. Yeah, so I'm still on the journey, and I'm still learning, and I still have rough days like today. Not every day is perfect, and not every day is wonderful, but I still do believe that there is something good in every day. And a bad day doesn't mean it's a bad life, and there's always something positive in every day and something to be grateful for. So I will sign off with that. I decided to take my glasses off for a second because they seemed impersonal now that I'm almost done with the chat, but nonetheless, hi. So anyway, I will end this with just saying that I did have a positive day. I had a nice experience, a fun experience, a memorable experience. It's not every day that you get to see the First Lady in person, regardless of what your political beliefs are. It's kind of cool. And now I'm going to go relax for a little bit before dinner, catch up on some work, snuggle with my pets, and then make dinner for my husband and I. And so it's a good day, even though it's been a painful day and I'm very much in pain. It's a day where I got to experience a lot, and I got to learn. I got to learn that I need to be able to ask for help when I need it, and ask for accommodations when I need them. So a day that you can learn something is good too. It sucks that I had to be in excruciating pain to come to this revelation, but it's something really important that people who live with an invisible illness or an invisible disability need to be aware of. And maybe together we can figure out a better system for these types of events and having our needs and our accommodations met so that we can be comfortable and enjoy the event as they are intended to be enjoyed. I am having some issues here with the commenting, so I'm seeing a couple likes and hearts and things like that, but I'm not really seeing comments, so I don't know if you're commenting. So if you are, I'm not seeing them live, so I will have to respond by commenting back after. And if you're not commenting, then it's no problem. But so I just wanted to vent, and I just wanted to check in with you all. I hope that you're having a lovely day, and if you're ever in an experience or a situation like I was today, I would just say go in the ADA line, go in the special accommodations line. Just go up to someone that works there and ask them if you can sit down or lean up against something. Don't be stubborn like I was. It was dumb. because now I'm paying the price for it. So we need to be able to not be stubborn. So that would be my advice for the day. All right, well, I hope you all have a happy, healthy evening, or afternoon or morning, depending on where you are in the world. It was great chatting with you guys as always, and I will speak with you next time. Love and light. Be well. Bye.